G'day guys, this is David Wu from T02G3, and today we're just going to be talking about the Tolaga problem, and here is our fellow team members.
Hey guys, I'm Adam Cato, and I'm also from Group 3.
Hey, I'm Chin Yao Dong, same group.
My name's Fatun Fafili, same group,
Yeah, I'm Preethan Garkipati, and I'm from the same group. Oh shit.
Okay,
Yeah, my name's Ashika.
Cool. And my name is Jaden Taylor, and today as a group we're going to discuss the issues of Slash on the east coast of the North Island. We're each going to explain our top 5 stakeholders and why we think that they are in the top 5. And then we're going to use a decision matrix to come to our overall conclusion as a group as to what the top 5 stakeholders are.
Cool, awesome. All right, is there any volunteers to go first?
I'll go first.
Cool, all right.
Yep.
So basically, I had my first most important stakeholder as the forestry owners. I reckon they're most important because their actions can directly both impact both people and environment. I feel like they can always try to find ways to work around the regulations. So they kind of change everything by the operations, and they can do stuff like adding slash traps or like foundations upstream to like decrease like the impacts on the environment. So I feel like they had the biggest impact. And then for my second one, I put the local community and the iwi. So I feel like they've been living in the area for the longest, and so their land's been exploited, and like the soil has been like destroyed as well as beaches. So they've been like negatively impacted by the slash the most. So I feel like even though they're highly impacted by the issue, but it appears that their voices are not being taken into consideration. And then for my third one, I had forestry workers. So I reckon the people who have been working for these private companies are the third most important. This is because their livelihood is dependent on the industry itself as well. And when the industry is working, the workers are sustainable. But when the industry is taking a hit, the workers will be like subject to unemployment. So even though the industry has affects the environment, but also like the local workers are benefiting from it and making a living out of it, so they must also be considered. And then for my fourth one, I put the local government. So I feel like the local government doesn't seem to be negatively impacted by the issue compared to the other stakeholders, but I feel like their ability to pressure companies to develop a solution or a way to like go around this problem, to find a way around the problem is definitely there. So they have a power to put in a regulation to monitor the industry, or like put in some restrictions or something that they can use to hold the companies responsible for the environmental damage. And then for the last one, I put local companies. So I ranked this at the bottom because they aren't directly impacted by the issue, but yeah, they're more indirectly impacted. Local industries such as tourism and fishery are negatively affected by the slash, but the destruction of the beaches leads to fewer visitors, which result in fewer tourists in the company. So they'll earn less because of that. And the fishery is like a little more directly impacted by the slash because the marine life is like gone bad, right? So like there's like less return on fishing trips, and like more businesses will struggle to stay afloat due to reduction in food traffic. The food traffic, sorry. Yeah. So those are my 5 stakeholders that I put like the order.
Okay, that's a good start.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm happy to go next if no one else wants to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So as my first one, I've put the local iwi. The once Māori-owned land is now being occupied and exploited by forestry. This has caused the rivers and the beaches to become flooded with slash. These rivers and beaches aren't only a place of cultural significance because of their history, but also this is a place that is used to gather food and for leisure. It negatively impacts the tourism industry on the East Coast, removing potential income. For example, Tupuna Tours is an iwi-owned ecotourism company operating out of Tolaga Bay. And how can they operate successfully when the area is unattractive due to slash littering their beaches and their rivers? It drives away tourism and therefore money from the region. My second one is forestry companies. So obviously forestry is the cause of the slash. Although their intentions are not to flood the rivers with slash, more has to be done to mitigate the negative impacts of slash within the area. Many of these companies are from overseas and therefore they don't directly see the impacts of the slash and they need to be held accountable. Greater focus on working with local iwi and community and building relationships could bring some of these issues to light and then there could be ways to mitigate them that could be found. Third one is the Forestry Minister, Shane Jones. The public and local iwi want more to be done about the issue. Shane Jones is aware of the issue. However, they believe he just puts money into solutions instead of coming down and consulting the locals about what they want done with the issue. He has major influence on upcoming bills and therefore can make a change and solve the problem at its roots. And this would be by putting regulations around the offshore companies and the local companies as well on what needs to be done to ensure that slash does not become an issue within the area. My fourth one is the local government and council. Similar to the Forestry Minister, Shane Jones, they also have influence on what can be done and they can find ways to crack down on the companies who are finding loopholes in policies. And they can also offer advice and regulation on best practices to mitigate future slash issues. My last one is the other members of the East Coast community. The slash impacts all members of the community as it drives away tourists and therefore small business owners suffer. It makes the beaches and rivers undesirable, leading to it being unable to be used as a place for leisure and therefore lowering the quality of life within the region.
Very good.
I don't mind going next. If not.
Cool.
Alright, so my first one's also the local iwi. They're the ones who are more directly affected by what's happening out in Tolaga Bay. Even though the forestry companies like responsible for what's happening, they're the ones that are actually having to deal with the issues that have arose from their mismanagement, I guess, of waste. My next one is the local council. They're the next people I feel who are directly responsible in working with the forestry company and helping the local iwi come up with a solution by being the middleman between the forestry companies and the local people. And my third stakeholder is the forestry companies. They have to work with the council and the locals to come up with a better solution of how they can manage their environmental waste rather than flooding the beaches of Tolaga Bay. And then my fourth one is the tourism industry around the East Coast. I guess no one would really want to go there since what's happening, like all the local lands that they find sacred, it's all being damaged by what's happening right now. So that would negatively impact people who want to go there. And my fifth one is the government, the Minister, Shane Jones. He's, as Jaden said, he's responsible for passing any laws that could fix it. So I guess he's the last one who we have to go to once we've come up with a solution within the local environment, and go to Shane Jones and come up with a plan, and he can pass it through to resolve the issue.
Cool, very good.
I can go next if you guys aren't ready. So yeah, I put the local iwi again as my first option. because they're directly affected by the effects of slash on their beaches. Affects their source of like kai moana, which is like seafood, and the area is like culturally significant to them. It's been settled on for a long period of time, so it's culturally significant. And yeah, and for my second stakeholder, I put the forestry companies. They're the main ones who are, I guess, creating the problem. They're creating slash, which is directly affecting these communities. And yeah, and they have a responsibility to try and mitigate those effects as much as possible. And they also have to balance that with economic responsibility. For my third stakeholder, I put the local government, because they're responsible for the resource consent that was granted to these forestry companies, and they're responsible for monitoring the extraction and making sure the forestry companies are complying with the resource consent, which is pretty important. For my fourth one, I put the Minister of Forestry, Shane Jones. He has a big role in obviously ensuring that there's regulation in place, and he can lobby the government to update or recommend changes to the Resource Management Act. And then finally, I put the central government as my fifth option, because they are responsible for the Resource Management Act, which controls the forestry sector.
Cool, very good. I'll go next. So the first one, I put the New Zealand Forest Owners Association. So I feel like they have a huge impact on what's been done already. These guys do the surveys. They would have been the ones had the engineering consultant, had the agriculture consultant in the area. So I feel like this whole situation may have been caused by them not regulating regulation properly. For the second one, I did put the communities or the local iwis. They have been there for many years, so I feel like this will be one of the hardest impact that they will ever receive. Within the community, I trust that. So their daily life has been, affected a lot. Either it will be fishing or buying and trading. And the third one, I had the local government and council. Again, they will have influence on what has been done. They will be the one advising the resource consent and regulating the local slash on the beach already. On the fourth one, I had local company, so they have the influence on what can be done and what needs to be done, and they will have an effect on the slash on the beach. The fifth one had a tie between the two consultants, engineering consultant and agricultural consultant. So these two will need to work together to figure out a solution to the current problem. Cool.
Ishka, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go? Yeah, I'll just keep it. For my first one, I did Mana Whenua, so that's the tribe with authority over the territory, and I did that because I think they're more focused on the cultural side of things, the cultural awareness side of things, and I feel like that was overlooked by the forestry industry, and I think that should be considered more when they're trying to solve the problem. For number two, I did the New Zealand Forest Owners Association. Yeah, they'll be a massive part of the solution, and they're a massive part of the problem as well. Three, I did local government. They're responsible for waste collection and is in the area, therefore they should have some form of plan and action to deal with the slash. Four, I did community. Yeah, they're affected by the slash as well, and yeah. See, for number five, I did the tourist industry. They're negatively impacted, and they're gonna lose some form of income as well, because not many people want to come because of the slash. Yep. Yeah, that's me.
Ishka, would you
Yeah.
like to?
So my first one is the local government, because they need to be more responsible towards what they're approving for and what they're taking orders on. And then my second one is the local. They keep on getting with the slash and how it's affecting the beaches. They can't enjoy for one. So yeah. And then my third one is the forest ministry, where Shane Jones is passing these laws without looking at the impact. Or maybe not Shane Jones, but whoever is there. Then my fourth one is the water using communities like the fisheries, because they find it really hard to do their business and stuff because of the slash that's in the water. And then my fifth one is the tourism industry. It's decreasing because of the people not being able to enjoy, and then that decreases the local economy as well as the national position. Yeah.
Good.
Job.
Well, at least most of ours were pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like, at least if they went in the same order, we mostly included similar ones or similar concepts. Do you guys want to jump on the Google Doc and we can discuss on there? Just for the recording. Yeah, cool. Thanks, David.
Yeah, we only got 5 minutes left. of our-
Do we want to start a new stream, or just so it's complete, we could have like part two when we're discussing?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Right, so I'll stop share for now, and then we'll have another, like the same link and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Great.
Sweet. So we've just had a discussion as a group and came up on our top 5 from each of our own individual rankings. So we've got the local people, the forestry companies, the local council/government, local businesses, and the central government. So these are in no particular order yet, but from the individual discussions we had, those were the most common 5. So that's the 5 that we're going to discuss in the matrix here.
Or I'll just pause the.
Sweet. So we've decided on our 5 potential top 5, and we've just got the factors here, which is the influence on causing the issue, the direct impacts from the issue, the indirect impacts from the issue, and the speed/ease to resolve the issue. So we're just in the process of deciding the weighing of each of these factors at the moment. So we've just discussed about the speed, and we kind of came to a general consensus that in compared to the other factors, this is a relatively low factor. So we're giving it a 1 out of 5. What do you guys think about influence on causing the issue? Personally, I think it should be pretty high, yeah.
That's
pretty high.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that it's probably the most important thing? Or do you think that the direct impacts are more important? Because
I'd say it's
I would say the impact, because like that's the thing, that's the problem, I guess, here is what the impact on people. And then
I'd say they're
closely
roughly the
followed by-
same, because if you fix the causing of the issue, then like, the impact.
Yeah, I still think that they're relatively the same as well.
Relatively similar.
yeah, I think they are relatively the same. The only thing that I am considering is like, if it wasn't for them having an influence on the issue, there wouldn't be an issue, and therefore there wouldn't be any direct impacts as it is, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
although
Yeah.
I both think they're similar, I personally think the influence on causing it should be maybe 1 point higher or half a point higher, just because they're the ones who are causing the issue, and therefore they have more of like a influence on the total system, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what do you
no, I
think,
agree with
David?
that.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, David, do you agree?
Absolutely. So should we make our ranking from a 1 to 5 system, and then just have the influence 1 higher? Is that what
I
you
think we
think?
just need 1
Should
to
make it
4.
4? Should we make it
Yeah.
4? Yeah, 1 to 4. 1 to 4.
That's
So
4, 3,
yeah.
and then
4, 3, 2, 1, right? 4,
yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Cool.
4, 3, 2, 1. Does anyone disagree with that?
I'm still like thinking that they're the same, because for the local people, then like they didn't have much influence on causing it, but they're directly impacted. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
that.
they
Yeah,
are the ones who like have to deal with it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see what you're.
So I mean, if it was like a remote piece of land with no one there, and then there was like the stash, I don't think like fully like no people there, you know, it wouldn't be like, it would be an environmental issue. But
So do you guys
yeah.
think that? Do you think we put them on the same weighting then, on the influence and the direct impacts?
That's
Would
what I
that
think about
be
the
suited?
majorities.
Yes. Okay. So
I can yeah.
So if you want to,
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from. So yeah, I guess we can put him on the
yes
same.
from Priv, Jalen. Yes. No.
Yeah, I definitely understand it.
Okay. Tony
I'm for it as well.
for it as well. Ken.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone. Yep. Cool. All right. So let's make it 3 then. I definitely see.
I'll make it 4.
4 doesn't 3. It'll all be the same.
Yeah.
All good. All right.
Right.
So now we've got that sorted. We'll,
Mhm. Yep.
You guys want to start with the local people just because it's at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys? They used a high, medium, or low on the thing, and basically just used that. Like a high was 3, and medium was 2, and a low was 1. So we could just use 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think that
but-
would probably be good.
Yeah, personally, I think the influence of causing the issue from the local people is that it's not their fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1.
So I think it's the 1. Does anyone have any other thoughts on that? Like, although some of the local people are forestry workers, most of the forestries in the region are owned by larger companies that are offshore. So I think it's 1.
I think
Yeah, 1
as
for
well.
sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Ashika, David,
absolutely. Agree.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
I agree. It should be 1.
cool. Okay. Next, direct impact from the issue. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
3.
Yeah, okay, that's the max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3.
It's really
Yeah, I think it should be 3.
Yeah, Fair enough.
Good.
Anyone disagree with 3? No. Cool.
No.
Alright. Indirectly impacted from the issue.
Somewhat in the middle, I guess. 'Cause I guess if we say they're directly impacted, then you can't give them a high score for indirectly impacted, right?
Not necessary. I think it can work both ways.
I think
I
it
would
can
do-
be a 2.
I think if we can justify like why they would be indirectly impacted.
Yeah, so we need to think about why they can be indirectly impacted.
Yeah, I think a few of us touched on it when we were speaking
Yep.
in our individual ones, but a lot of it comes back to like tourism and attractiveness of the region. So obviously without the slash, quite a few tourists would be inclined to come to the area, but with the slash and the rivers and the beaches, it drives away tourism and then brings in the indirect effects of not having tourists. So the tourism companies do manage to get less business, but then there's less tourism company business. So then like places like dairies or supermarkets also have less business because there's less people in the area to spend money, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's quite high in that sense then.
Yeah, but it could also be argued the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
We go a bit in the middle.
I
1 or 2.
Yeah, I think definitely a 2. I mean, we could do a 2.5 if you guys think as well. But I think, yeah, 2's fine with me if you guys want to go with that.
Sounds good for me as well.
Yeah, 2's all good.
Okay. Yep, sure, we can do a 2, no worries. Speed to resolve and ease to resolve. I think from a local point of view,
It's pretty hard.
resolve as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if does everyone agree, it will be a major issue, like a major.
Yeah. I mean, it's been going on since like the 1800s with deforestation and stuff. So they probably they're sick of it and they just want to have a normal.
To resolve as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were saying that's a 3 maybe.
Plus 3.
3. You're right. Yep. Cool. Right. So 3 companies.
I think clearly this might be a 3.
But, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
definitely the most like influencing on the.
I think a 3 all day.
Yep. It's
The
easily
other
3.
ones, yeah, the slash comes from them, right? Without the forestry.
Yeah, it's their operation and yeah, they're causing the issue. It's essential.
Yeah. Does anyone think differently? No.
Nope.
Cool. Sweet. Directly impacted from the issue. So, what do you
To an
guys?
extent.
I think it's in the low because like just like you said, like the mostly like like they live overseas, right? People who earn it, so like they're not really impacted that much.
Yeah,
By the issue.
for sure.
Yeah.
I do think the only thing to consider is that the slash has caused economic strain for them. So
Yep.
in the video, they did say that like they had to pay to get it cleaned up, which they didn't have an issue with, but still that does cause some impact
Some
by the
And
issue.
the bad publicity they've got from it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
even though I don't think they're high, I think at least
is
a
some
1.5 is
Yeah.
like
I
reasonable.
think for directly, like economically, they're directly affected, so that could be a 1.5, and then indirectly, they also have that, public opinion on them. It's like it's not good for their business.
Yep. So both sort of medium low range. What do you
Yeah.
I'd
think
say
around that?
1.5
I feel like
is
for this one, I'll put 1.5 as well for directly.
And indirectly, I think 1.5 as well.
Yeah.
Sicily,
Yep.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any differing thoughts on that?
What's that?
Nope.
Cool. Sweet. And then the speed slash ease to resolve. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
feel like
It's been going on for a while, and
Yeah,
It doesn't look like they're in a rush to.
it's pretty hard for them to
Yeah.
resolve as well because they have to think of the economic and like the all the impacts as well. Or else,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say about a 1 to be honest.
Yeah, a low, to be honest. Yeah, on my side as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking low.
Alright.
Be happy with the 1.
If I have just one.
Yep.
Cool. Local council government.
I'd say
They
they're in the middle again. 'Cause
about a
they do
2,
have
yeah,
some
because
influence.
they had
Yeah.
responsibility for like, like monitoring and making sure the company was following the resource consent.
Yeah,
And,
totally agree.
but
Yeah.
if everyone else agrees,
I probably think medium high, maybe.
Yeah.
I think they do have quite a bit of influence if they would have.
yeah, I remember the judge when they were prosecuting the forestry companies, like it was disgraced by the council and their lack of action. So I mean,
Yeah.
Right. Around 2-ish.
I think
Yeah,
2
2
is
sounds
fair.
good.
Who's fair? I was thinking 2.5. Any 2.5?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
okay,
thinking
I could
2.5 as
go
well.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, I can back at 2.5.
I think 2.5 can be governed just because realistically it's their area. They should have a better hold on it. And although the forestry companies had a major influence on it, they shouldn't have been allowed to have that much influence.
Yeah.
And it's the local government's responsibility to
For
do
sure.
so.
I feel like they should make like the regulations as well, like really clear from the start.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I feel like they're not directly impacted, but they're more indirectly impacted in a way, the local council.
Yeah, I feel like they have kind of got off pretty, like, they haven't got too much criticism. Like, that judge did criticize them quite a bit, but I feel like they haven't been, like, too negatively impacted by the issue. But in saying that, it's probably all the slash in their region has caused an issue for them because they're also responsible for, like, waste management and ensuring that the region is, like, attractive, right?
Yeah.
So what type of score are you guys thinking?
Around 1.51? 1.5?
Yeah.
I was thinking
I think a 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah. Why do you think that, Ashika?
Mainly because it's like they are taking the orders, but it's also because like they have to do that. I don't know how to explain this, but I just think that it's like a two-way situation, so they can't really ignore the the business and stuff. So I mean,
but
they get
like
their
a
fair share of criticism, so we can't really say that they aren't directly impacted because they are the people from that local area. So
I can see what you're saying. I mean, we could always go 1.75 if you guys want to meet in the middle.
I was thinking 1.5. How many?
I was thinking 1.5.
I think
Yeah,
1.5.
It's just the issue of slash directly affecting the council. I think maybe it could be argued maybe more indirectly, but
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
but you made some valid
Keeping
points.
1.5.
So
Yeah, I think 1.5 is good.
Awesome. Right.
I think they've got a bit of a more indirect impact on it though. Like they've got a bit of a flow-on effect from what's happening.
Yeah.
They're copying most of the heat from the locals.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you guys think like a 2 or even
Two is
higher
good
would
for
be
me.
suitable?
Yeah.
I was
Who's good
thinking
for me?
2-ish, yeah.
Medium high.
Yeah, medium high.
Medium high agrees. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speed and ease to resolve. I think they're on a pretty rough urge, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they probably
Yeah.
want to resolve this, but
Yeah.
as fast as possible.
Yeah. Local council, local people, they're meant to be working together. So I think
Yeah, I'd say 3, yeah.
agree. Yep. Everyone agree up
Yeah.
there? Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm all free.
Cool. Local business. What do you guys think?
Probably 1 here.
I mean, yeah, apart from any forestry companies,
Forestry,
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably 1.
Cool. And
Correct.
do you guys think they're directly impacted a lot, or
I think they're more
obviously
indirect from the
Yeah,
tourism, yeah.
definitely more indirect.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, like, I don't know if this is a business, but like, farmers and things who make
Yeah.
income from like farming,
That's true.
that like, because there was like logs just blocking parts of their farm and stuff like that, and then there's quite a wait for clean up. But yeah,
Yeah.
Isn't that like
That's-
directly?
It is a slightly directly because that type of stuff is from the slash, but I don't think it's too much. What do you guys think? Like low to medium, maybe?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say
around
1.5.
one
yeah.
to one.
I would be happy with a
Pretty
1.5,
loose.
but
Yeah.
but yeah.
But indirect, I'd say about a 3, to be honest.
Indirect,
Yeah.
I think it will be quite high on the definitely on the high side
For sure.
because of
Yeah.
the tourist attraction.
So 3 you could?
3, yes, I'll
Yeah.
probably make that 3.
And I'd say 3 for the speed as well.
Yeah, because they want it done.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, it's something that's like the longer it goes on, the worse it is, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree?
Mm.
No, I think
For the indirect one, can we also think of it as like some businesses might have to move out of the region because they can't really, work with their full potential? Because sometimes they work with the local stuff that only is available there, so they might have to move out of the region because they can't really resource that material. For example, kind of a stone or something like a pearl, or
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah.
So you're all flipping higher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
so-
like a high score would be
yeah, discuss.
Yeah.
suitable.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Cool. All right, central government.
Okay.
I feel like similar to the local, like they obviously have some authority over the regulations, and they should kind of be overlooking the local government / council as well. So I think it should be somewhat high anyway.
Yep. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
Agree with that.
so 2.5, 2. What do you think?
2.5 or 3.
3.
Oh,
I'd say 2.5.
2.5.
I think
Oh yeah, I would have
2.5.
gone 2 or 2.5. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, I think yeah.
Yeah, I don't
2.5.
think that like a 3 is valid just because like it's not
They're not.
directly them.
Yeah.
Although yeah, they do have a major influence. So yeah, I don't know.
Yep. So
Okay, and I can back it too, yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, I would have gone for just a 2 because like I would assume that the local council is kind of like more responsible for their area
Yeah.
than the
That's
central
fine.
government, which is
Yeah.
responsible for like the
I
RMA.
guess- Yeah.
Yeah. Very
That makes sense because it's their direct area,
But-
so they should
but
have more.
Cheng,
hold on.
did you have something against the 2? Oh.
No.
2 is good. Definitely, I do believe that's
I feel like it's good.
a bit.
I reckon. Okay.
Yeah. 2. Everyone.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy with 2.
Works for me.
Directly impacted by the issue.
I reckon it's a 1, to be honest.
Yeah. Again, will be a
1
little,
to 1.5, I reckon, because I would definitely get some
Yeah.
IP as well, for sure.
I think a little bit less than the local
Yes.
government.
But if we
Because,
look at it right
think
now,
one-
they're not really impacted that much. I'll say the central
Yeah.
government.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that we should go pretty low with this, and then the indirect is slightly more.
This could be
So-
1.5 or something. I can back that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's too like massive.
Indirectly impacted.
I mean, yeah, I guess like you could even say like politically it looks bad for Shane Jones and the
Yeah.
rest of central
Mhm.
government, and then maybe even economically to an extent, like they, even though they don't pay for cleanup, there's still like people who might like need assistance from the government or something like that. But,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely is a bit more of an indirect impact.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'm thinking 1.5 to
Yeah,
2.
I can back that.
Yeah, I
1.5.
reckon 1.5.
1.5-ish.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
The indirect.
Yeah.
Cool. Does anyone disagree?
Well, the indirectly impacted from the issue, we have 2.5 for local council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll probably say 2.
You reckon?
Yeah, I kind of think so too. I mean, agree is for 1.5. Just yell out yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why
Yeah.
what's your reasoning behind the 2? Is it just like, do you think that it's more indirect? It's only half a point, I guess. It's not.
Yes. No, I was thinking indirectly impacted. So local government obviously takes, all the blame, sort of thing. Central government. Yeah, I guess a bit less. Yeah, 1.5. I can see your reasoning. All right.
We'll just leave it then.
Yeah. Speed and ease to resolve.
I mean, yeah. And that.
I'd say like 1 or 2 to be honest.
Yeah, because Shane Jones was just like organize, then work with your local council and the government. It sounded pretty, relaxed about the whole situation.
Yeah, they kind of like, if it
Yeah.
happens fast, it does. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Like they're aware of it, but they're not like doing much about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely is a problem for them, but he's like,
YouTube.
Say
I think-
1.5 to a 2 again.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1.5 because they've kind of just been like, well, yeah, we're aware, but local government.
Like, it happened in 2018, and they didn't like do too much, and it's happened again. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Is everyone happy with what we've got?
Yeah.
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 That looks pretty good.
Sounds
Look
good.
at our rankings, eh? Local council.
Local council actually highest.
Okay.
And they're pretty close, so I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah. And local people. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Forestry companies over local business.
I think it's fair overall. Pretty happy with
Yeah,
that.
again, yes, that's
yeah,
right.
I'm pretty happy with that.
And central government. Yeah, I think that's a very good list. That this table has worked out very well.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think that although the local people are definitely like highly impacted by it, I think that a lot of it comes back to the regulation and the top 3. Like they're definitely all what I would have considered the top 3.
Top 3, yeah.
Although the first, second, third, they're all pretty important, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Very good. That's very good discussion by all of us. I think we did a great job.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, guys.
Cool.
Thoughts and stuff.
Cheers, guys.